Hi guys, welcome to DevOpsSchool. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Ansible network modules. Ansible network modules can configure your network state, test and validate existing network state, and discover and correct network configuration drift. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of Ansible will be absolutely clear to you. This series divided into multiple parts, therefore subscribe to the channel and follow the playlist.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOpsSchool certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai, and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best, and start today.
So we did the installation and as well as trying. We have checked the inventory. Right? So today we will talk about how to create, can we copy the inventory and check all the documents. So first of all, we'll see. I think you already saw the what local host creation and everything. Do you remember anything what we discussed on the day?
Last time, I think we studied some theoretical concept, and then we did some installation on the Windows or through Windows machine, and did some man command for Ansible and some text editors.
Okay. Yeah. So this is for the same config. I think you already seen this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this actually says what are the actions you can perform. So let's just close this one. So we last time as we discussed, our inventory file is in Ansible host. So if you see the man host, so this is the inventory file, right? So here you can add multiple things for example, if I want to add my local host here, I could just directly type localhost. If I want to create some groups like you already have some documents, create and add the IPs or something. You can add the IP address if you have, or else you can add directly the website like www.google.com. So like this. Now we might face a scenario. Suppose we can actually usually we face a scenario that we might have multiple environments, okay, but we use only one Ansible server, right? So the inventory file might be different from all the different clients, and you might be using only one Ansible server. So what would you do in this case? The first one will be, so we have the host, right? So what we'll do is we'll just copy the host file, okay, into home, and your home directory you could copy directly. You can give as some name, or you can give an inventory or something like that, or it's your call, anything you can. So now we have two inventory files, right? You see, if you see, we have now inventory. So we all the same changes we made there. You can see it here directly, right? So let's go back to etc Ansible, and if you see the file, just go to host, and if you see, just scroll down. Let's delete this all. Let's consider that we do not have any of the details there. Okay. So basically, as per the config file, your inventory file is the same one. If you say this cd etc Ansible host is your inventory config file. So that as per Ansible. So even though if you try to do anything, we do not have any server there, so it wouldn't do anything. Like for example, let's try, and the basic first command is like we'll try the ping module. So what does it do? So Ansible, first of all, we have to give the local host, the name of the server, and you could tell -m is like picking the module ping. That's all. And first, I didn't configure the SSH host like a local host with the SSH. Now what happens? Let's see. So it is trying to ping, but usually it will not happen because I didn't create the SSH. Oh, okay. So as for this, I think the local host is already configured with SSH. So if you see, if you try, you could ping and pong for the local host because I use the local host there. I use the name local host. Now we have created a group name CentOS, right? You can put directly CentOS and give ping. It says provider host list is empty, only local host is available. That implies local host does not match at all. So now what can you do is something. We already have an inventory file here. Like if you go back to home, you see we have created a copy of it, but we want Ansible to use this inventory file. What you would do is Ansible as an I, and you'll tell Ansible that you pick this inventory file, and from that give the name CentOS or localhost, whatever you have, and use -m. You could use ping module. Now it will try to ping Google, and if Google has the ping, then we'll get the same output like a ping pong. You understood what we are doing here, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, this is the case where if you have multiple inventory files, like different clients and only one Ansible tower, some kind of thing, or if you want to use different environments, and different environments have different type of softwares or different type of applications you might be using. So that's the case where you end up using all this. So failed to connect because Google did not give us the 22 access. So that happens usually because google.com doesn't give the 22 access. But if we have any other server, we could directly go ahead and SSH into it. Let's try. Let's create another server. You are using VMware, right?
I'm using VMware.
Okay. So I'm starting another server. Here, what we'll try to do is we'll just try to create a connection between my Ubuntu, like Windows WSL Ubuntu and the VMware Ubuntu. Take a second to pop up. So we have first what I'm going to teach you today is something we'll be discussing about in command line and what are the difference between the in command line usage. Like if you want to run everything on start, what you should do.
So when you're saying about accessing, or you can say that accessing a client for the Ansible server, right? I think how we can call that client? Do we have some particular name?
Which client you are talking about?
For example, like
what do you mean?
if you want to access another device from your Ansible server, so
Yeah.
do we have?
So what we do is something. So we have two devices in the sense two servers. Now
Right.
this is one server and my Windows is another server, right? So the Ubuntu. What we should create is something. We should create a SSH access between both. So how do you create an SSH access, which I'm going to show you right now. So that now you have two CentOS machines set up, right?
So
one should be
basically,
master.
we required SSH on both machine, right? Or at least on the client side.
SSH is activated usually when you open any server. SSH is automatically activated in all the servers. It is already there. It is like that is how you log into the server and do all this command stuff. So SSH is already there. It runs on port 22. But what happens is servers might stop you from accessing the server because port 22 is blocked from outside. So if you have, there are two options for you to sign into a server. First one is something you could use a private key, like you have a key PEM file. So you could use a public key and keep the private key inside the server and log in. The other one is like you could use a username and password and log in. So these are the two things for you to log into a server. And this actually works on port 22 itself, for your own SSH itself. For Ansible to connect to the host without uninterruptedly, without any issues, what you should do is something. You should create an SSH access between both. How to create that is something you create a SSH key pair, okay, and you copy the key pair into the new server. What happens is then both will have an SSH access. For example, we tried to ping google.com, but Google directly rejected the call on face. What happened there was we do not have our Google server do not have my key there, which it is not letting us access.
Yeah, okay.
Let's try to open another server. That one is Ubuntu 20 version. I'm trying to test it, so might be the case. So this is 18.0. So in your workplace, they use CentOS itself completely, or else you are using CentOS?
Actually, I'm using CentOS.
Okay.
I built my own environment.
Okay. Yeah, basically RHEL and CentOS are much easier when compared to other flavors. In the meantime, when it starts, we'll cover other topics. So that's how you ping to the other modules, but we'll create different like access routes. Okay. Before that, so we'll talk about modules. Okay. So what are the modules available? So for example, you have so these are the different module index. So if you want to check anything, suppose just go to the cloud modules, the clustering different modules available online. And the best part is that Ansible modules or something, they get refreshed every weekly sometimes. So when I was learning Ansible, the time when I was learning, we had some 140 modules, that's all. 140. Now it has some 500 to 600 around. So what happens is it actually gets updated daily and it changes also. There is nothing like the module will be same all the way. So that is why on the intro call when we spoke, what I have told you something, I could teach you how to use the modules, but the modules get changed every 15 days. You might have to, before using the module, you have to go into the go into the module index and just try to check if any changes are there. So if you go for this, we see the copy module, and you could check what are the copy modules.
So it is when you're saying about the copy, it's a complete module, right? Can you go?
Copy is a complete module.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you go back?
So it basically, sorry?
The back. Can you go on the back page?
Yeah.
Just above.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. So for example, if you go to the module index.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there are multiple module inventory, messaging, and files. So you can say these are the all modules, and then in copy we have some further sub modules, right?
So what we can say from this is the modules index is something. So if these are like in a hierarchy like kind of thing. For example, this is physics. Suppose this is physics, and if you go down, you might find other subjects that it is divided. So for example, this is cloud modules. If you open this, you will find all different clouds. This is like Ali Cloud, Amazon Cloud.
On the basis of vendors or some subcategories are there. Okay.
Yes. And if you go to files, there are different modules again. In files, there is ICL information, archive module, assemble, and copy module, fetch module, file module. So in that again, this is completely called a module. And if you just scroll down, you would find the way of using the modules. Okay, like example, it's an example. But sometimes what happens is you might getting an error, but you do not have an access to online server as well. So that also happens, right? Because not all the companies allow you to go ahead and check a Ansible server, or even the private server also. So usually companies block everything. So what can be done in that case is something you could do, like you could actually go ahead and see the Ansible doc. You could type man Ansible doc, then you will see all the same thing which we have checked there, right? You will see the Ansible docs here. So this says what are the options you can use, where is the playbook directory, and how to use all the syntax and everything. Now let's get back here. Now if you want to see how to use Ansible doc copy, like Ansible copy command, just go type Ansible doc copy, and you will see copy is something. Copy is a file from local, the same thing which we saw there. It's what you have to do is you can use attributes, or else you can use backup. It actually shows all the options available, like what are the things you have to give in the copy module. And if you think this is not so clear or something, you could do same Ansible doc happiness. It actually shows you the clear which, like it will show what you can do. So attributes, with groups, follow, levels, and all. So in future, suppose you're working somewhere and suddenly you forgot something, make sure you remember this command. And I actually use it most of the time, because sometimes we don't remember all the modules, right? So this is how you could go and check. You directly check on the terminal itself, and you will find out actually what's going on there.
Okay. Syntax kind of things also there, and some help or some syntax, some explanation is already there. Okay.
Yeah, so everything is there, and in future also, suppose if you want to, let's see, you could run if there is something like that. If you want, you can run the module directly on the command line itself. That is also possible if you are using for a group or something. So, for example, what we have done is something. We went to the module file. The way you learned Ansible is something. You create a playbook, you point the group there, and you run the commands. Like you give the run, and I run Ansible playbook.yaml, and that's all. Right? You learned that way. But what you can do is, usually, this is also possible that if I want to run some command like Ansible, and I want to use local inventory, I could go with Ansible local inventory, which I have created, or anything. And what I want to ping is, if I want to do ping in localhost, I would take localhost. And I want to pick the module. I am using Ubuntu, right? So I would use apt. And what I can use arguments now. So what are the arguments I can use? Like name. So what is the name? I want to install something. Let's talk about, let's think what I want to install HTTPD. Okay. Oh, sorry. Ubuntu has Apache too. So make sure that you remember difference between HTTP and Apache too. And what will be the state? The same way you have written a playbook. So install and go ahead and run it. It will connect to my local host. What is the local host which I'm using currently right now? So see, as you see, fail to connect to the SSH because the connect to localhost port connection refused. So what we can do is something we can do SSH keygen. Could use SSH. You could create a key. You could put like if you want to name anything, something like anything I will name it as Ansible. If you want to put a password, yes, or else you can just enter the password. It is created. Now SSH copy -id. So this you can do in your CentOS. What you can copy ID localhost. Then this would what it would do is something. So I didn't do any. Let's go Ubuntu. you just go here, you'll be able to find all the keys. Okay, you will be able the keys which you have created and all. So are you able to see the screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. Just give me a moment. This didn't start up. I am thinking it might be some issue. So yeah, we will try in localhost itself, like Ssis copy. And Ssis then create. So we have created ID after this, right? Go back, clear, Ssis. You should copy the file. Into it. Because I'm using Windows, right? It might be showing some issues, but let's. Okay. So you have your system handy now. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Your CentOS is handy now currently.
Yeah, CentOS is working now.
Yeah. Can you just tell me your IP address if possible?
My IP address.
Yeah, you could type if config in the command line. It will give you your IP address. If config.
So basically, you need IP address, right?
Yeah, that's all. That just to
Uh,
show you how to ping and all that stuff.
yeah, basically my IP is 192.168.2.129
Okay.
of CentOS machine.
Did you create your user?
It's a default user.
So you didn't give your name or something like that.
Yes, I gave then. Of course, it's a default name. So basically, admin I'm using. So you can also
Mhm.
use for SSH or accessing any. So
No,
basically,
I'm just trying to show you how to copy the SSH key to your system because my virtual host is not working fine. It has some issues, so
okay.
that is why I'm just trying to. Mhm.
So
Yeah, I'll just ask you the copy password. I'll just try this from my end.
If you want, I can show my screen. But issue is that
Your IP.
maybe
So it says no such file that this is copy ID. Yeah, this is with the my thing, my system itself. You can tell. Let's see. You can tell your root, right? Root at the rate of your IP address
root
192.
or yes, that is the same way. Admin at the rate. I am using admin, so you can also
No, you're using
use
admin itself. Admin at the rate of
admin
192.
dot 168
168.
2.129.
This should work. It's online, right?
Yes, I don't think so. It will works. How it can work?
It will work because if you're online, your port 22 should be open. So
No,
if
no, no.
that is open, it will directly go ahead and connect to the server. It would ask me a password or something like that, but nothing else. So it says fail to create fileware template root. We tried admin, right? But it says
No, but you cannot access my CentOS machine. How you can access it?
no. I'm not trying to access it. This what I am trying to do is yeah, we can access different machines. That is possible. That is entirely possible with the IP address
Right,
because you have
right.
yeah.
Hmm.
So what I am trying to do is that I have created a key gen, right? I have created a key right now. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to push my key to your system.
Okay,
Then once that is done, we could directly connect it. That's all.
okay. So, okay, you have already key defined on your CentOS machine, right?
Yeah, I already have the
Okay.
key. So it should copy the file name. That's all. So once it is copied, it will ask me. It will ask here for the password or something like that. But if we have created something, but if there is nothing, if you didn't put any password, then what happens is it will directly. This should work, but it says something. Root associates fail to create file by template root. Okay, that's not an issue, but we'll do is Alex. Okay. What happens is it doesn't give you permission to create it.
Hmm.
Okay, let's clear this. Let's try Ansible. So if it is pinged, if once you create what are the commands you need to run is something. First thing you need to remember that you have to run Ssis keygen. Okay. Then it will create a file where where you want to save, just ask you where you want to save. Just so you can give any name or something. So it created a directory root as such, and enter the passphrase is something. You give a password to the file or not, it's your call. And give enter. There is another key which gets created. Now where it is created is it is created in root.sh. So just go to home root gc series.ssh, and there are two keys. Now what you have to do is this is copy -id -i. You need to copy area, say, this way, and at the rate you can do root at the rate of localhost or the server which you are trying to do.
Right.
Yeah. So it should actually get connected, but here what happens is I'm trying to connect to my local server itself, right? So that is why it's getting failed. My local server is the same server which I'm trying to use port on. So it means that the same server where I'm using port 22, it is taking to and fro, which doesn't work like that, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. No problem. We can go further because let me. After this session, I will try on my my machine, my environment. So
Okay, sure.
if there is any issue, then we will discuss later. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just going forward to the next one.
Thanks for watching. To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Want to study further? Subscribe to our paid membership to get a deep dive into each and every topic. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to our DevOps School channel and hit the bell icon to learn more. Keep learning.